Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that something fundamental is gone. No explosions, no alarms, no single moment marking the beginning. Just an impossible truth settling in. All the ice on Earth is gone. The poles are no longer white. The highest mountains stand bare. Glaciers that took hundreds of thousands of years to form have turned into silent water, slowly flowing into the oceans. For most of Earth's history, ice acted as an invisible regulator. It reflected sunlight. It cooled the atmosphere. It controlled sea levels, a fragile balance but a stable one. Now, without warning, that balance breaks. The ocean doesn't rise in a dramatic wave. There is no single cinematic disaster. Instead, sea levels begin to climb slowly, centimeter by centimeter, year by year. Coastlines don't collapse, they retreat. What once seemed like gradual change becomes an irreversible transformation. This isn't science fiction. It's a scientific projection of what would happen if all the ice on Earth, from the poles to the highest peaks, melted completely. The planet doesn't explode, it doesn't split apart, but it stops being the world we know. And the most unsettling part isn't what happens on the first day, it's what comes next. Earth's ice wasn't just scenery, it was a colossal reservoir of solid water. For thousands of years, immense amounts of water were locked away in glaciers, ice sheets, and polar caps, invisible to most people, but essential to global balance. If all that ice melted, sea levels would rise by more than 70 meters. 70 meters sounds abstract, until it's projected onto the world map. Coastal cities wouldn't be partially flooded. They wouldn't suffer temporary damage. They would disappear beneath the ocean. New York, London, Tokyo, Shanghai, Miami, Rio de Janeiro. Entire infrastructures would be rendered useless. Ports, airports, highways, power plants, all reclaimed by the sea. A global evacuation would be impossible. There wouldn't be enough time or space. Entire countries would lose most of their territory. Islands would vanish completely. New inland seas would cover what were once fertile plains. Borders would lose all meaning. And none of this requires violence. No asteroids, no wars, just water, returning to where it naturally belongs. The ocean isn't the enemy. It's a reminder that the planet was always in control. Antarctica ceases to be a frozen desert. For the first time in millions of years, its surface is exposed. Beneath the ice was a hidden world. Mountains, deep valleys, subglacial lakes, and rivers trapped under kilometers of ice. Once exposed, this dark terrain absorbs heat instead of reflecting it. That single change accelerates global warming beyond any point of reversal. Greenland follows the same fate. Its massive ice sheet, one of the largest in the northern hemisphere, melts away slowly. But once the process begins, there is no turning back. Melting ice doesn't just raise sea levels, it disrupts the systems that regulate Earth's climate. Ocean currents responsible for distributing heat around the planet weaken or collapse entirely. The climate system loses stability. Regions that once had mild temperatures become extreme. Colder winters, hotter, longer summers. Seasons lose predictability. Rain arrives late, or not at all. Droughts intensify. The planet isn't breaking. It's shifting into a new state, a process that has happened before in Earth's history, but never with a civilization dependent on climate stability. As sea levels rise, continents begin to reshape. North America loses much of its coastline. Europe fractures into archipelagos. Large parts of Asia disappear beneath the ocean. Africa experiences massive coastal changes as new shorelines form far inland. Australia shrinks dramatically. Ancient deserts flood. Rivers change course. Regions that never knew the sea are submerged. The planet becomes unrecognizable. Cities that survived wars, pandemics, and natural disasters do not survive the ocean. And the most disturbing part is the silence. No explosions, no smoking ruins, only submerged structures slowly covered by algae, sediment, and marine life. Human civilization becomes underwater archaeology. Without ice to reflect sunlight, Earth absorbs far more solar energy. Global average temperatures rise sharply. Extreme heat waves become common. Equatorial regions reach temperatures incompatible with human life. The poles, once Earth's thermal stabilizers, no longer exist in that role. Air currents shift. Wind patterns change. Stronger hurricanes, larger storms. Climate events that once occurred once a century now happen every few years. Agriculture collapses across multiple regions. Harvests become unpredictable. Food shortages spread. Ecosystems don't have time to adapt. Species migrate or vanish. The planet isn't dying. It's changing too fast for anything that depends on stability. Despite everything, life doesn't disappear. It reorganizes. New rainforests emerge in regions once frozen. Former polar zones become biodiversity hotspots. The oceans, warmer and deeper, turn into the biological heart of the planet. Marine life expands into areas that were once permanently frozen. New species fill empty niches. Nature doesn't mourn the loss of ice. It doesn't remember the old world. It adapts. Human civilization, however, cannot keep pace. Hundreds of years later, Earth reaches a new equilibrium. Coastlines stabilize. Climates redefine themselves. New ecosystems dominate the planet. Human cities no longer exist as centers of activity. Only remnants remain. Structures buried under sediment, corroded metal, eroded concrete. From space, Earth still looks blue, alive, active, just different. If all the ice on Earth melted, the planet wouldn't end. We would. Not through instant destruction, but through the loss of stability. Ice was never just ice. It was the silent anchor that made civilization possible. Without it, the planet moves forward, without pause, without regret. The question isn't whether Earth would survive. That's guaranteed. The real question is this: could we live in the world we created?